An area for myself if a stay-at-home wife as Tanis Hamilton. Curation. Today is Tuesday, 6 January 2026, and here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, ruminate about what an area focus of curation might mean if I were a stay-at-home wife and my name was Tanis Hamilton. So this would be a Hamilton coming from my Lewis Hamilton, my Afro hamster. And so I was like, curation is kind of, so what is a textbook setting for curation? A museum. It's kind of, it's a dedication to kind of preservation and conservation and taking care of things, but kind of a little bit different than a caretaker, where it might be like, there's a nuance here that for my background, it can be rather scientific depending on what one's kind of working with. And so instead of making it about me, because I'd be a stay-at-home wife, I'm going to do examples that are kind of preserve him and his industry. So for example, a DVD collection, storage and usage approach for living with my soulmate, which my Lewis Hamilton was in this movie. He appeared in this movie, F1, the movie, 2025 film. So there's a usage and storage, and this goes actually with a book collection, storage and usage approach for living with my soulmate, which is The Motorcycle Diaries by Ernesto Che Guevara of Argentina, where so this is about Formula One car racing. This is about a motorcycle tour of South America, or intended motorcycle tour of South America. Anyway. So it does include a motorcycle. Ponderosa II. Okay, so these two kind of go together in the sense of having kind of like a base storage space. Currently, my books are spread, and my movies are as well, though there is more kind of one central hub with the movies. I have a few in my room, so they're kind of spread out, but they're like a few easily accessible in my room for books and movies. So maybe retaining that structure, because I've done that elsewhere as well, is kind of having like a central storage and then kind of like an in use or heavily used or a high importance, which might be closer or at least of recent to kind of like where they're used, and then also having like an active or in use. So this is a copy of the Motorcycle Diaries, the book, from the library system, and this is my own personal copy of F1 the movie. So in addition to usage and storage, having a designated library space, which currently is right over here for me. But depending on how many, like for my Lewis and I, if we're on a project or we're really interested in stuff, we have like 50 books and 20 of them are library books. Is like, even if they're in use and they're mixed in with our books, if there's, especially like I have library cards for multiple systems, having a like base, this is the King County library system, this is the Snow Isle library system, the rest of my stuff goes over here, as like a return. So before returning it to the library, return it to the corresponding spot and then take it back, to reduce confusion and make sure to preserve where it came from, the book, the DVD or the book. So there we go. And then if I have a stay-at-home aunt of my Aunt Danette, perhaps we could add alcohol collection slash cellar. She's quite knowledgeable. So like my parents have given me projects and I take care of the critters and that kind of thing, and I'm just like, what could I do for my Aunt Danette? And she's a stay-at-home aunt, and I was like, we could do an alcohol collection slash cellar, and that could be like her thing. Not that she couldn't take care of the critters, just like, you know, like that's kind of like a forte of hers. So letting her be like work on her own like project. So there we go. That's an area for myself if a stay-at-home wife is Tanis Hamilton. Curation.